Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Purple Lunar Rose Tarot and Astrology. Tonight, I'm going to be reading for the collective, and I am going to be looking at the energy past this Libra full moon that comes in tomorrow. So, I know that this eclipse season has been slightly challenging for a lot of us, right? So, we're going to talk about that tonight after I read for the collective. I'm going to touch on the astrology a little bit, the current astrology, and what we have to look forward to. We are going to do a Libra full moon live tomorrow night. That is going to be for members only, guys. So if you are new to PLR or if you recently became a member, that's what we're going to do tomorrow night. We're going to offer some free readings. So if you want to join us for that, you can find that over under the members tab. Guys, please remember we are multi streaming. So we're on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch all at the same time. So I see Michelle coming in. Welcome, welcome everyone. So this wraps up our week, right? This is what we're doing tonight, a little collective reading, looking at this energy past the Libra full moon, which peaks tomorrow. So this energy could come in, directly following this Libra full moon. All right, so let me get to the information I have to share with you. Hi, Sherry. Hi, Diana. All right, so first I want to go down and just tell you where everything's at. Right now, the sun is currently in Aries. I touched on this energy, by the way, guys, over on a Facebook post today. So if you guys aren't following us over on Facebook, you definitely could be missing out on some information, but I am going to recap here. The sun, of course, in Aries, the moon in Libra at 7 degrees. That was this morning. It will peak at 23 degrees again tomorrow, the 12th. Mercury is in Pisces right now. Venus is in Pisces. I should mention Mercury did go direct on April 7th, so no longer in the retrograde period, but definitely in those shadow periods. Venus is in Pisces, Mars in Cancer, Jupiter in Gemini. Saturn is late in Pisces. It's actually fixing to transition into Aries. We did talk a little bit about that on a members only video, and of course, we're going to talk more about it as that energy gets closer. Uranus right now is in Taurus. It's been there since 2018. It will actually move out in 2026. So if you feel like your monies have been stagnant or struggling since 2018, you're not alone, right? 2026 should bring us some new surprises, to say the least. Neptune, still late in Pisces, will enter Aries briefly, 2025, and then go retrograde and then back again 2026. And then Pluto, of course, is in Aquarius. Our north node is in Pisces, and our south node is in Virgo. And I know a lot of you are like, Rosa, what does all of that mean? Well, if you hang out for a little while, I'm going to explain most of those energies to you. All right, I see Vanessa. Vanessa, make sure to come back and join us for our members only live tomorrow. All right. Okay, so here's what I'm looking at. So this eclipse season, the March through April 2025 eclipse season, I'm going to look at the impact specifically for those that are on the twin flame journey. So I'm looking at the twin flame collective. And I know a lot of times people are like, Rosa, what is a twin flame? We don't got that kind of time tonight, guys. It's just a specific type of spiritual awakening. There's all kinds of different types of awakenings. There's all kinds of different things that can cause you to have a spiritual awakening. It's just a type of awakening. So let's focus on the collective energies tonight instead of like, oh, what does it mean, right? All right, so the impact I think is going to be really significant. Spirit did draw me to create this live and to talk specifically about this astrology. So I feel like I'm probably not the only one that struggled through the eclipse season, right? So we had solar eclipse in Aries on March 29th, and then lunar eclipse in Libra. That is again going to be tomorrow on the 12th. And this is activating themes of self-identity versus partnership. Self-identity is the Aries energy. Partnership is the Libra energy. This is urging the twin flame collective to confront imbalances between independence and union. So eclipses are catalysts for our destiny, altering shifts, often bringing revelations, closures, and accelerated growth. So for twin flames, this energy is likely. Triggered ego clashes. Again, that's going to be Aries energy. You want to watch out for that. And it's going to be requiring some honest self-reflection. Highlighted relationship imbalances, that's Libra energy. It's going to push for fairness or closure, whichever one is needed at that time. Also, accelerated karmic resolutions, especially with Pluto in Aquarius. This is amplifying the collective to go through this very specific transformation. And it's also going to emphasize authenticity. And this is all Saturn energy and Pisces, and Saturn is getting ready to move into Aries. So it's going to dissolve illusions at this time about what the perfect union really is, right? How many of you feel like in the last, I don't know, 3 months, you have been learning a different meaning or understanding to what you believed union to be before we experienced this eclipse season? I know I have. Guys, let me know how the sound is. I just realized that the air is on super loud. Hopefully it's not too loud and causing a disruption. I am still getting over my cold, but I am feeling a lot better. I feel like my throat is not as horrendous, like my voice is not as bad as it was. All right, I do want to say that at this time, and I've noticed this through doing like your private readings, through the Etsy shop, through the website, doing one-on-ones with you guys, and just watching other twin tarot readers that I myself watch. I've noticed that there's been this massive sudden experience with reunions, separations, breakthroughs in communication. So going from long periods of no contact to sudden communication, but meaningful communication as well, not just communication. And I do feel that all this is happening to help us align with our own personal truth while fostering mutual respect for the counterpart energy. How many of you feel like you're understanding that you have a purpose, they have a purpose, and it's not the same purpose? Does that make sense? All right. Sweet. Thank you, Michelle. All right, so here's what I want to do. Well, first, I want to talk about some key themes of the post eclipse energy for all signs, but then I'm going to break it down into all 12 signs. I feel like that's how you guys like it the most. So collectively, key themes for everyone is going to be releasing control. That's Aries energy. Let me know if this is resonating in the comments or in the chat. And also embracing compromise. How many of you guys feel like you're having to learn how to compromise more? That's Libra energy, right? We're also prioritizing self-love and boundaries without sacrificing connection. That's what's happening right now. Using Pluto and Aquarius energy to redefine relationships through innovation and detachment from old patterns. That's, again, collectively all of us key themes for this energy going forward. And Michelle says definitely. All right, let's break it down. So going forward from Libra full moon tomorrow, right? Let's start with Aries. And here the way I broke this down is I really like doing it by houses, but I feel like we get a little confused when we're trying to do it by houses. We're all still beginners here, including myself. So I've just decided to break it down by zodiac. And at this point, I'm going to say it's best to use your rising. It's best to use your rising. But I mean, is it possible that you're going to see some correlation in your sun sign or maybe your moon sign, maybe even Venus or Mars? Well, absolutely. Absolutely, guys. Absolutely. All right, so all 12 signs, ready? Here's Aries. Energy going forward post-eclipse. The focus is going to be your identity. That's going to be because of the solar eclipse in Aries. And partnerships, that's going to be that Libra full moon. So what may happen after this energy is you may experience some relationships that may end or even deepen depending on the alignment with your authenticity. So, in other words, if you've been doing your work and you're where you're supposed to be, then that relationship will deepen. If you have not, then that relationship will more than likely end. The advice here is going to be balance your needs with others and avoid impulsivity, practice patience. I know that's super challenging for Aries, but that's what we're always doing, right? All right, Taurus. Taurus, your focus is going to be healing. That's the solar eclipse energy for you. And daily routines, that's going to be the lunar eclipse for you. And what you may experience is revelations about hidden blocks in your own twin flame journey. My best advice here is going to be ground yourself and release old habits, prioritize emotional wellness. All right, Gemini, here's your focus going forward after Libra full moon, post eclipse season. We have community, that's going to be the solar eclipse energy, and creativity, that's going to be the lunar eclipse energy for you. And what you may experience, a social circle or project may have shifted your twin flame dynamic. In other words, you're just in a different group of people, right? My best advice is going to be communicate openly and let joy guide your connections. All right, Cancer. Guys, let me know if it's ringing true so far. Do you guys feel like some of you are feeling this energy already? Cancer, your main focus is going to be career, that's the solar eclipse, and home life, which is the lunar eclipse for you. And it may have you feeling some tension between your public goals and your private needs. So best advice for Cancer is going to be to rebalance priorities. I'll stop stuttering over my words any minute now. Mercury in the shadow period. But best advice, we balance priorities and nurture emotional security first. That's going to be Cancer going forward post eclipse. All right, Leo. Leo is next, and your focus is going to be belief systems. That's the solar eclipse. That's what it did for you. And communication is what lunar eclipse is doing for you. And what you may experience post eclipse is a truth about your twin flame surfacing and challenging your perspectives. My best advice for Leo is going to be stay open minded and release rigid expectations. All right, Virgo, you're next. Virgo, going forward, post eclipse focus is shared resources. That's what the solar eclipse brought for you, and finances. That's what the lunar eclipse brought. So, what you may experience is some power struggles over trust and values or values. And best advice here is going to be practice vulnerability, address imbalances with practicality. All right, Libra. Libra, going forward, post your moon, right? The focus is relationships. That's what the solar eclipse brought for you. And then, of course, your self-identity. That was the lunar eclipse. And what you may experience is a pivotal moment in defining your role within a union. I'm going to read that one more time. A pivotal moment in defining your role within a union. My best advice is going to be to assert your needs and avoid over compromising. Scorpios are favorite, right? Scorpios, the focus for post eclipse is going to be healing. That's what the solar eclipse brought for you. And solitude, that's what the lunar eclipse is bringing for you. And what you may experience, Scorpio, is deep emotional purging. No way, right? But this is going to be related to past twin flame cycles. And best advice for Scorpio is going to be to surrender control and trust the process of release. All right, Sagittarius is next. Sagittarius post-eclipse focus is going to be creativity. That's what the solar eclipse brought you. And community, that's what the lunar eclipse brought you. And what you may experience here is a new social or creative path influencing your connection. Best advice for Sagittarius is going to be embrace experimentation and let passion guide growth. Capricorn is next. All right, Capricorn. So post eclipse focus is going to be the home life. That's what the solar eclipse brought for you. And career, that's what lunar eclipse is bringing. And what you may experience post eclipse is going to be tension between family and your ambitions could affect your bond. So my best advice is going to be rebuild your foundations, balance practicality with heart. All right, Aquarius, your focus is going to be communication. That's what the solar eclipse brought, and beliefs. That's what the lunar eclipse is bringing in, spiritual beliefs. And what you may experience here is going to be a mindset shift about your twin flames role in your life. My best advice is going to be innovate your approach and detach from outdated narratives. Pisces, you are last but not least, right? The focus is going to be finances. That's what the Aries solar eclipse shined a light on, and shared goals. That's what lunar eclipse is illuminating. So, what you may experience here post eclipse is letting go of material or emotional dependencies. Best advice for Pisces is going to be trust in divine timing and focus on spiritual alignment. All right, some general guidance, guys, for all twin flames post eclipse. Journaling is going to be really, really important. You want to journal your eclipse insights. What did you learn? What did you gain during this time? And the synchronicities. The synchronicities have been huge, guys. Let me know in the chat. Have you been noticing the synchronicities? And I mean, the numbers, the names, the locations, the signs, the colors, the things, to the point where we just went, yeah, right? Okay, maybe that's just me. But yeah, the synchronicities have been through the roof. And remember, like, I'm not in a type of like, I'm having this awakening. Like, I'm going through this experience right now. So like, I have no idea why we see the synchronicities other than what I've learned, like everyone else learned, is that it's a sign from the universe that we're exactly where we're supposed to be. Well, that's great. That's great. I'm glad to know that. Like, that's wonderful. You know what I'm saying? Are they supposed to be like guiding us in certain directions and all this type of thing? Well, of course. But if we can figure all that out, well, then synchronicities wouldn't be a mystery after all, right? Journal. Journal is going to be the most helpful. Of course, meditation. That's going to balance the Aries courage with Libra's harmony. And releasing timeline is going to releasing timelines, old stagnant timelines, things that no longer serve your greater good. It's not working, it's not feasible, it's not coming together, there's no movement. And trust to the journey's divine pacing, which is just divine timing. All right, revisiting boundaries to ensure mutual growth. That I think is going to also be key. All right, guys, that is the information I have for you post eclipse. Sherry says numbers all day long. Renee, hello. All right. So if you guys weren't here earlier and you didn't hear, we are doing a members only. I believe like everyone in here is on the members list, right? Libra full moon tomorrow night. We're going to do a collective cleansing. I'm going to share some more Libra full moon rituals with you guys. I think you guys seem to like those. We're going to talk more about the full moon, what its energy is doing for us, how we can best harvest that energy. And then, of course, I'll offer some free readings. All right, I'm just going to do quick collective here. We shouldn't be on too long tonight. I just want to look at the masculine energy, the feminine energy, and this is post-eclipse. Post-eclipse. So remember, the moon is peaking tomorrow. 23 degrees. Neptune comes out. Neptune is still in Pisces, fixing to work its way into Aries. I think that's going to be pretty significant. I think it's going to be so significant that I made a members only video on it. We will talk more about it, of course, as it gets closer. Neptune rules Pisces. Neptune is the planet of dreams, desires. It's also the planet of confusion, fog. All right, let's look at the feminine energy. You have Mars, action. I feel like the feminine energy, especially if you have any Aries or Cancer placements, strong Sun, Moon, rising. I have Sun, Mars, Mercury, all in Aries, and then I'm a Cancer rising. I am sick. And when I say sick, I am sick of Mars and Cancer. I made a post about that as well. I'm so over it. I made a joke on Facebook. I said it's like Mars in Cancer this last go around is like the collective being in anger management. And it's like, okay, we get it. We're not supposed to scream. Got it. Let me out of here like yesterday. Very calmly. You know what I mean? But we're just so ready. You know what I mean? So ready. Mars will move into Leo on the 18th. On the 18th. And when that energy does happen, Mars is a planet that literally it rules its action. It means action. Mars is action, right? So Mars in Cancer is very emotional in your feelings, right? That's why I make the joke that we're in anger management. You know what I'm saying? And so when Mars moves from Cancer, the watery, emotional, motherly Cancer, into fiery, passionate, courageous Leo, it's going to be all about action, 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 action. So it's like we went through the end of the year, right? The lunar year, and we had this slow down period. And remember, I said when April comes, it's going to be like a burst of energy. That's Mars moving into Leo. So the feminine, ready to go. All right, let's look at the bridging energy. The earth energy is here. This is about being grounded. The sun is on the bottom. I feel like, what was it? A couple of months back. So I'm having this awakening and I'm learning about grounding. And how many of you learned that grounding meant to go outside and touch a tree? How many of you heard that before? Grounding means go outside and take your shoes off and let your soles of your feet touch the earth. Hug a tree. I know y'all heard that one. So all of those are grounding techniques. Absolutely. They absolutely are. They center your energy. They cause your energy to get into balance, right? That's what's the whole point, right? So let's say you're having like an emotional moment, something's got you worked up, and you go outside and you hug the tree. What happens? You calm down. That's what happens. Your energy starts to balance back out. That's what happens. I really like to give people examples of visualizations that you can do for grounding. Like, let's say you work in an office and you can't go touch grass, like Michelle says. Let's say you don't have a plant, you don't have anything around you. What are you going to do, right? And your emotions are every which way, and you need to ground yourself. You need to balance yourself out. I like to use the example of envisioning the tree roots coming from the bottom of your feet, going down through the floor, down through the dirt, into the earth, all the way down to the center, coming back up, all the way back up and reattaching to the bottom of your feet. And now you're grounded, you're centered, you're anchored, right? It makes me feel anchored. That can balance you out. But this grounding is different. Let me explain this grounding. A lot of times when we're talking, all right, a lot of times when we're channeling, when we're meditating, when we're praying and we're receiving information, whatever label you want to put there, and spirit, okay, when spirit tells me to ground, I understand that it's about balancing my energy. But what spirit recently taught me is grounding also means taking that information that I have gained and bring it down here to my 3D everyday life onto the earth, right? And using it, putting it into motion. That's grounding. And that will also balance, right? So the thing we're all learning right now, whether you resonate with your masculine energy or the feminine energy, or this is an inner journey and it's both, um, whatever it is, the lesson you're learning right now, if you're having this twin flame journey in my collective energies, right? I'm having this experience as well, right? Then that earth energy is about you understanding how to take the information that you learn spiritually and apply it to your physical life. Neptune, Pisces, Mars, Aries. Mars can be Aries or Scorpio. Mars rules Aries or Scorpio. All right, let's look at Neptune first. Spiritual awakening, spiritual guidance. Um, Masculine energy could be being guided out of dark night of the soul. What that means is an easy way. I almost said something kind of weird and silly, but I almost said like good things are starting to happen. But that's kind of what happens. So when you're in dark night of the soul, you feel like you're at the bottom of the well, right? Like the bottom of the pit, the lowest of the low, right? And then as you start to come out, as you follow spirit's guidance and you start to follow, you come out of dark night of the soul. I used to say that like the air smelled delicious. Everything I ate tasted like it was made out of gold. Um, it's like everything is so good when you're coming from the bottom. You know what I'm trying to say? And it's giving that type of energy. Five of Wands does say this masculine could have went through some type of training, some type of period where they're learning. Five of Wands is challenges, but it's not Five of Swords. They're not stabbing each other. They're hitting each other. It was challenging, but the masculine is victorious with the Six of Wands. Victorious. Let's look at the feminine energy. So we have the King of Pentacles. Again, this is about wanting to like get up and do something. Maybe this could have something to do with taking responsibility or feeling that it's your responsibility to do something. Very possible. The Devil is here. The Devil could be Capricorn energy. It could be about breaking away from karmic energies or anything that's holding you down. Seven of Pentacles is here. It's about divine timing. It's about being patient. And I feel like that's the energy that we've been talking about for divine feminine. That's why we feel like we're just going stir crazy over here because we're so ready to go. And spirit's like, no, you got to wait just a little bit longer. And it's like the days are just kind of creeping by, creeping by, creeping by. The energy is getting closer, but I feel like we've been talking about the Lunar New Year since what, November of 2024, like beginning of winter when we were already sick of it. So it's like this energy of like, I've been ready to go. I've been ready to go. All right, let's look at the earth energy. Earth energy is grounding, implementing what you've learned, bringing the spiritual down to the physical. Two of Pentacles is here. Two of Pentacles is again about balance. Queen of Wands is here. Queen of Wands is about confidence. And the hanged man could be about your spiritual enlightenment, your spiritual awakening, your spiritual ascension. It's possible some of you are still struggling with imposter syndrome. I know that has been like it came back up and resurfaced this week. We talked a lot about imposter syndrome back in January, early February, when it was really strong in the collective. And it does seem like it's peaked this little ugly head again. So it's like we overcame something, got through something, and then it's like it's somehow resurfaced. It's very possible this is like a trigger moment, like where you can see like, am I gonna react to the situation differently this time, right? Could be something like that. All right, so Capricorn coming out strongly with the devil, Pisces coming out strongly with the hanged man. Knight of Swords is on the bottom. I do get this energy like we're breaking free from old belief systems. That's going to be both sides, right? All right. Trying to decide. Let's choose a sacred destiny by Denise Lynn. We'll do a little head, heart, and higher self. And Jenna says, I have no fear. All right, guys. Let's start masculine energy first. Head, heart, higher self. So in the thoughts, we have fulfillment. And that's kind of what I felt, right? That energy of coming up from the bottom, good things starting to happen for the masculine. Let's look at the heart space for masculine energy. We have courage coming out. I do see like the waves crashing on the side of the rocky, like the side of the ocean. There's some rocks, and it looks like the waves are a little turbulent. So again, going through something challenging, and I felt that with the Five of Wands. Let's look at higher self lesson. We have the love card coming out. I'm not necessarily getting like love. It could be, of course, unconditional love always. But I think it's more about like happiness, joy, seeing the beauty in a situation, that type of thing. Because remember, divine masculine coming out of dark night of the soul, where it's like everything smells good again, everything tastes good again. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm getting out of this challenging time that I was in, right? All right, let's do divine feminine. Again, head, heart, and higher self. Purification comes out in the headspace. That's divine feminine going, I've done the work. Why am I still here? I've done the work. Why isn't the thing that I want here yet? I've done the work. Tell me if I'm wrong. I, let's look at heart space for divine feminine. We have illumination. It's very possible we got some communication here. All right, let's do higher self. We have flexibility. So this is about compromising. This is about holding. It's kind of like you're storing it. It's kind of like there's a different word that I can't think of. It's like a runner. You know how the runner is at the mark and you're waiting for the gunshot to take off. You're in that position. That's what I'm getting with flexibility. Like flexibility, it's more about, of course, maybe it's possible to be flexible, but it's more than that. It's like you need to be patient and wait till it go. You don't want to like jump the gun. That's what I heard. Don't jump the gun, right? There is some communication here with the divine masculine, divine feminine. Voyage is on the bottom. And the message that I'm getting, courage is coming from divine feminine to divine masculine. It is because divine masculine is coming out of that dark night of the soul. Divine masculine is confirming that to divine feminine with the illumination card. It does feel like things are being illuminated for divine masculine as they work their way out of dark night of the soul. All right. I don't think I'm going to pull any messages tonight. I think I'm just going to pull a guidance card to close out the reading. We may get more than one. And I am going to use Tree of Life Oracle. All right, so let's do a little spiritual guidance. Post-eclipse energy. Post-eclipse energy. You have the Man card coming out. We have the Child card coming out, and we have the Buds card coming out. Elder is on the bottom. Let's read that Buds card. This is about new beginnings, fresh starts, innocence, love of youth, promises, beauty, timely decisions, abundance, procrastination, exploitation, folly, conceit, and lack of judgment. All right, it says, you are ravishing as ever just now, youthful, evanescent, and alluring. This is a thrilling time of great abundance. You are eternally budding flower, growing and opening to the unlimited potential that is your true essence. Your story is never over. You are never fully defined. You are constantly changing and reaching toward more awareness and enlightenment. Know that you're a precious flower of life, unique and beautiful. You're at your best. Tree of Life Bud card is telling you to delight in the sheer beauty of you at this time. Let your hair down and dance, laugh and frolic, bathe in optimism, seeing the good side of everything. Don't hold back all of your fabulousness. This is the right moment for pure joy. Are you guys listening to all the confirmations and the guidance card? I feel like it happens every time. Every time. Feel as blessed by your eternal spirit as a figure in a Rococo painting. Let even excessive pleasure and beauty sweep you off your feet a little. Another aspect of Tree of Life Bud's card is to remember that while you're very attractive to others at this time, shimmering with thrill of love, it's important to take care. In new relationships and projects, nurse and care for the tender details. Spring buds need protection, and with good timing, ideas can fully bloom. This is also a reminder to avoid too much folly to the point of poor judgment. And even while you celebrate the essence of beauty and joy, invite others to celebrate with you. Now is also not the time to procrastinate. You can focus on what must be done and have a good time too. Bud card validates your need to preen a little, but too much self-involvement can lead to regret. Allowing yourself to feel fertile as you're tenderly developing yourself and your ideas. Nurture yourself well while keeping a good sense of fairness, and be aware that conceit and exploitation can crush things in early stages of development. You are so desirable just now. You may be very tempting to devour. So surround yourself with fun-loving people who are not just using you, and keep your delicate petals safe. This may signal a time when you are learning new skills and new information, a springtime cycle for you when ideas, prospects, and fresh beginnings are upon you. While you must take your time as you grow, learn too that spring comes only once in a while. Pay attention to opportunities that come your way. Seize the moment and don't allow your spirit to be crushed. Keep open to your fullest potential. Tree of Life bud card signals a time of triumphant joy, hope, and deep gratitude for all abundance in life. Absolutely perfect. All right, guys, this is the energy coming in. Abundance is on its way. I do feel that the divine masculine is going to see this energy most likely first, as divine feminine is patiently waiting for something. And I just want to say for divine feminine, as we're sitting there patiently waiting for this thing that we're waiting for, pat yourself on the back. Pat yourself on the back for not living in lack, not feeling like you don't have something, not feeling like you're not in control. Pat yourself on the back for knowing this thing you've manifested is literally right around the corner. And for divine masculine, coming out of this dark night of the soul, it's like I said earlier, everything smells delicious. Everything tastes delicious. Everything is like gold when you're coming from the bottom, right? So nice, fresh, new, energetic, abundant energy finally coming our way 2025. And then we'll talk about Saturn and Neptune, right? All right, guys, that's going to be it. That's what I have for you guys tonight. Don't forget, tomorrow night is Libra full moon. We will do members only. Most of you are on our members channel, so you can find that information under the members tab of my YouTube channel. I hope to see all of you guys there tomorrow night, 8 p.m. It will just be us, right? A small group. So I feel like it's going to be so much fun. I'm so excited for it. I do intend on doing a little Libra full moon cleansing collectively for us. We're going to talk about some full moon rituals. I found some new ones that I think we might enjoy, right? And then I'm going to offer some Libra full moon readings. So make sure to come back, join us tomorrow night, members only. I hope to see all of you guys there. Thank you so much for coming in and listening to me go on about post eclipse energy. I do hope it was helpful, guys. I don't want to say it's not going to be challenging because it is, but I think for the most part, we've been through so much that we're really going to be able to easily see the abundance that's pouring in our way, right? All right, guys, I love y'all. I'm always, always sending all of you abundant love and light on your journey.